Hello, I'm, and you're not. And now we finally come to the end of 2022. So, this has been, I guess, a pretty good year for me. I've lost a measly 127 pounds. No big deal, anybody could do that. See, I had surgery, not relating to my weight loss. And, I got over my caffeine addiction, which was jolly good fun. So, along the way, there have been some pretty good movies over this past year. So, I'm going to give you my favorite, the best movies of 2022, which is scientific fact. These are the absolute best movies of this whole year. Okay, and if you don't like what I have to say, go on the internet and complain about it. Okay, so I'm going to start down and then work my way up, and then there's going to be some runners up in here also. Okay, number 11, I'm going to go with Violent Night, which was just released earlier this month, which is a new Christmas movie that has David Harbour from Stranger Things as Santa Claus, pretty much playing Die Hard. He's helping a rich family, and this girl, she's they have their family taken hostage, and this little girl, she's on the nice list, so he has to help her out and save her. And it gets violent and bloody, so it's going to be a new Christmas classic for years to come, and hopefully they'll make some sequels to it sometime down the road, or have Santa fight Krampus, or have him team up with the Easter Bunny or something. I don't know. We'll see. Number 10, I'm gonna go with Terrifier 2, and this is the new. It's a steel book. Is it just me, or is there something different in this room? Someone stole my old posters. What happened there? Okay, anyway, Terrifier 2. It's very bloody, very gory. This one scene in particular, if you all know, if you all seen the movie, you know what scene I'm talking about. So Art the Clown is back to terrorize this girl named. It starts with an S. Samsonite, I think. So he goes after her and her little brother, and they terrorizes her there with them for about 2.5 hours on Halloween. Yeah, the movie itself is actually almost 2.5 hours. So if you get 2 hours of time, check this out if you love Halloween movies that are violent and gory and bloody. Next, I'm gonna go with number 9, which would be Pearl, which I don't have just yet, but hopefully sometime soon I'll get it. So Pearl is the prequel to X, directed by Ty West and starring Mia Goth, and it takes place in the 1920s. I think it's the 1920s, and she's just a psychotic little farm girl, her farmer's daughter, and kind of wants to be a movie star, and she wants to get an audition, and of course, she doesn't get anything. Things don't go right, and she goes crazy. It's kind of like a case study or character study, similar to Joker or Taxi Driver or Christmas Evil or something. You watch these people slowly descend into madness. So if you like movies like that, definitely check it out. Number 8, I'm gonna go with Orphan: First Kill, which is a prequel to the original Orphan. So yeah, they got the original actress back, who's like 13, 4. The original was done in 2009, and I can't do math. I'm from Kentucky. So the original was done in 2009. This is 2021, so. Yeah. I just woke up. Give me a break, people. So it's got Julia Stiles and, uh, what's this girl's name? Hold on a second. Isabel Furman? Yeah, Isabel Furman. Yeah, they get her back to play the orphan. She's supposed to be the same age that she was in the original Orphan, but you can tell she's a lot older. You know what I'm saying? But they do try to make her look. I mean, they have the other actors wearing stilts to make them look taller, make her look shorter, and they get her wearing makeup to try to make her look younger and sound younger. So they did okay. So basically, they show how she gets from her asylum or from where she was all the way to the United States, and have her get with a family who were, well, I don't want to spoil too much, but they got a little dark past with them. So that was very interesting when that twist came up. Number 7, I'm gonna go with The Black Phone, starring Ethan Hawke. So this is a movie by Joe Hill, I think, or the original book was written by Joe Hill, who is Stephen King's son. I'm not joking, but he is. Ah, ah. So it does have a Stephen King vibe to it. It takes place in the 70s, which I always like period films that take place like in the 70s or the 80s. And this guy, the grabber, he kidnaps kids and takes them to his basement and I guess tortures them and I guess eventually kills them. So then he gets a Finn or a Finny, and he kind of starts to see the ghosts of the kids that have been down there, and they all try to help him get out of there. And his sister kind of has these psychic powers, so she kind of uses that to her advantage to help find Finn. And so if you like movies like that, definitely check that out. Let's see, number 6. I don't have it, but I don't know. I don't give a crap. I'm gonna go with Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe because I've always liked Beavis and Butthead, and then for them to make their comeback in 2022, which was it was pretty fun to see them again. And then there's time traveling in it, so like they go from like the 1990s to nowadays, and they learn about cell phones and Siri and white privilege and stuff like that. So that was pretty fun to see that. And let's see, number 5. I don't know why I put this up so hard, but so I'm gonna go with The Batman with Robert Pattinson, the sparkly vampire. What did I put this in here for? Oh well, okay, it was a pretty good Batman movie, but it should have been lower in the. I was kind of going in the order that they came out, sort of. So yeah, the Batman. If you like, yeah, it's more dark and gritty, and it's like more in his detective stages. He's like 2 years into being Batman, and he's like in his. It's definitely more of a film noir story, or kind of a It's not not so much action, but him doing detective shit. And it's got Colin Farrell as the Penguin, who doesn't really look like Penguin-y. And the Riddler, he was really good, the guy that played the Riddler. And then for some reason, at the last 2 seconds, they've had to put the Joker in here because you can't have a Batman movie without the Joker, apparently. I don't know. Okay, number 4, I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Scream, which is Scream 5, basically. Now, I've always loved the Scream series. When I was a kid, the original came out in 1996. I was 6 years old, and the Scream 3 came out in 2000. I was 10 years old. I did go to the theater to see that, and so like at the time, I was kind of confused about who the killer was because I didn't recognize Roman without his glasses. I'm a different person. See, if Superman can do it, I guess Roman can do it. So it was great to see the kind of a passing of the torch between Sydney and then to the new characters, Tara and Jenna Ortega, who was in the Wednesday show on Netflix, which was really good too. By the way, you should check that out. So and then of course you get a sad, tragic death of one of the original characters, which I won't. I mean, I'm sure you already know who it is, but I'm not going to say just on the off chance that you haven't seen it yet. So yeah, it was good to see Ghostface back to terrorize the new crew, and this was dedicated to Wes Craven, who passed away a couple of years ago. So it was kind of a little different to have a Scream movie not directed by Wes Craven. Number 3, good old. All right, I'm gonna go with Elvis. Yeah, see how sparkly and shiny that is. Yeah, that's my boy Elvis right there. So I've always been a big Elvis fan. I was raised on Elvis, and then as I always had that in the background when I was a kid. And in my fourth grade class, we had to give oral book reports, and we had to dress up as the people that we talked about. And I dressed up like Elvis. So surely, if you're on my Facebook, you can probably find a picture of me dressed up like Elvis. So that's why. Oh, also, I had to dress up like Abraham Lincoln and Gandhi. And if to appear bald to be Gandhi, I had to wear pantyhose on my head. Yeah, true story. So just imagine little 8-year-old Jordan wearing pantyhose on his head in front of his entire class. I got really popular with the ladies. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, yeah, Elvis was a really good movie, and Austin Butler did a great job. Hopefully he'll win awards. Hopefully it'll win Best Picture of the Year. And also it made me made me buy this thing, this Elvis the album collection, like pretty much every Elvis song ever made, and there's like all his CDs in there and a little booklet. What the crap? That wasn't supposed to happen. A little booklet about Elvis and things like that. So it shows his rise to fame and old Colonel Parker, who's a douchebag to him. And it's Tom Hanks. Who's really made up in makeup. You can't really. He almost looks like the Penguin from the Batman in this one. So yeah, if you're a big Elvis fan, definitely check this out. Number 2. What would you expect my number 2 to be? I bet you can't even possibly guess. Okay, I'll tell you. Halloween Ends. Huh? You would think that Halloween Ends would be my number 1, right? I tricked you. Because this is my channel and I can do what I want. So, so this is the final Halloween movie. And of course, as you know, I'm a pretty big Halloween fan. Sort of, kind of. And, sorry, I gotta keep clearing my throat. And so most of the movie is about a new character named Corey Cunningham, which, I mean, it is different. I mean, at least they tried to do something different. It wasn't boring and generic like Halloween 5. I said what I said. And, I guess they wanted to kind of go with take the Halloween 3 route, try something completely different off the wall, but have just a tiny little smidge of Michael Myers in there. Which, I mean, I guess I can kind of see what they were trying to do, and I kind of wish Michael had a little more screen time, but overall, I liked it. I mean, I was happy with the ending. I won't say what happens, but, Okay, now it's time for my runners-up. These are movies that, probably shouldn't be on any list at all whatsoever, but since I'm me, it's not going to happen anywhere else, but I have to do it. Okay, first I'm going to go with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the movie that was released on Netflix earlier this year. Now, there were a few things about it that bothered me, like, spoilers, they killed off Sally Hardesty. That's the original, I mean, it's another actress playing her, but they kill her off, like, in the last 15 minutes of the movie, and then, like, they have her, like, trying to tell the new characters, oh, don't run, you go and fight them, don't run like I did. And then, I guess that they kill her off to kind of help her push the new character to do better or something. I don't know. But the bus massacre was really brutal and gory and pretty cool. And then they all try to take their phone out to... Where's my phone? They're like, try anything and you're canceled, bro. We're going to cancel you. This isn't my phone. Okay, next I'm going to go with Hocus Pocus 2. Because it was great to see Sarah Jessica Parker, Bette Midler, and Kathy Najimy back as the Sanderson sisters. Cause, the original Hocus Pocus came out in 1993, and for them to come back, and they still look pretty good. For them to come back in 2022 and have them kind of fish out of water, which it was really fun to see. But the new characters, I think their name was like Izzy or Isabel or Izzy. Then their crew, they were kind of generic. They were kind of just, they didn't have nothing too much pizzazz to them. But the Sanderson sisters it was fun to see them. And next, I'm gonna go with Rob Zombie's The Munsters. Now, the first 20 or 30 minutes of the movie, it is a little, it's kind of iffy, but then when Herman comes in, that's when it gets a lot better. To see Herman meet up with Lily and have their first little date when they first fall in love, and then Grandpa, or the Count, who's, Daniel Roebuck was really good as the Count. He was almost spot on to Al Lewis from the original Munsters. So it was great to see all the little nods to the original Munsters series, which Rob Zombie loves, by the way. So you can tell if this was a passion project for him. And yeah, it's very vibrant and colorful. Like I think he wanted to do it in the original black and white, but Universal, being the douches that they are, they wouldn't let him. So he had to do it vibrant and colorful. Okay, so far those are the best movies, or the best of 2022. So now you might be wondering what could possibly be number 1. And of course the answer is still Halloween Ends. That's right. It's number 1 and number 2. So Wait a minute. People are gonna use that. Okay, it's the number 2 film on the list. People are gonna say, "Oh, hell, he called Halloween Ends number 2." No, I mean, like, I was just trying to mess with y'all. So yeah, Halloween Ends is number 1 of this whole entire year because I said so. So suck it. Okay, well, that's the best movies of 2022. Let's hope 2023 has some really good movies. Let's hope I can lose just a tiny little more weight because I've lost just a little bit. Just a measly 127 pounds. No big deal. Anybody could do that.